Omaha's news leader, chronicling the stories and people making a difference in our community. This is KETV Newswatch 7's Chronicle.
Well, we're in the heart of the summer and it's a hot time, not only for the weather, but also for nonprofits hoping to get people involved in their causes through various fundraisers. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCartney. Today, we're going to focus on a couple of those nonprofits. Maybe you'll want to support them or be supported by them. First, it's a disease that affects nearly 1 out of every 100 Americans. It's inflammatory bowel disease, basically Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Every year, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America has Take Steps walks across the country. This is video from some of the walks in Omaha. The goal is to raise money, raise awareness about inflammatory bowel diseases, and maybe just as importantly, to let patients know they are not alone. That's part of the message from Jake Diekman. He is a former Major League pitcher, diagnosed when he was 10 years old, often speaks with children who are also suffering. And last week on Newswatch 7, he shared what he tells them.
Number one, be honest with your parents. Like, if you don't feel good, tell them. Listen to your doctor, because he's looking out for you.
Yeah.
And take your pills. If you're on a pill, please take it.
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
I think, too, just like having somebody be open with where he was at in his career and playing at the highest level and being able to do that successfully for so long, it made kids realize, I don't need to be pouty about this. I can go out and do whatever I set my mind to.
And joining me now to talk more about this is Jason Anderson. He's Executive Director of the Nebraska and Iowa chapter of the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. Jason, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
First off, I want to ask you, why'd you get involved with CCFA?
Well, the opportunity came to work for the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, and I'm an ulcerative colitis patient myself. I was diagnosed in 2001. When I was first diagnosed, I didn't do much to reach out for any help, and I just kind of went about my life and kept going on. But then in 2019, our oldest daughter, Taryn, was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, and we started to get a lot more involved with the foundation. We learned about all the resources. I found that I had been missing out on a lot of opportunities to get help, and we started getting involved with our Take Steps program. Taryn wanted to have a fundraising team. She is dead set there will be a cure in her lifetime.
Good.
And she started raising money. And so as we got involved, I started to, engage with the foundation more often, found out about the opportunity to work for the foundation, and I'm the executive director now for Nebraska Iowa chapter.
Yeah, you talked about Taryn hopes that there will be, or knows that there will be a cure in her lifetime, and we're hoping for that. What kind of advances are being made?
There are so many advances being made. Okay. So as I said, in 2001, when I was diagnosed, there was not very many treatments available. And now, you can hardly watch TV without seeing commercials that talk about medications for Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. Mm-hmm. So the amount of treatment options that are out there now are amazing. The speed in which people are able to be diagnosed now is really increasing and getting much better. And they're even starting to be able to do some preemptive things to identify people who are likely to have Crohn's or colitis, and maybe even, help them before things get really bad for them.
Yeah, because I saw some of the research that talks about a gut microbiome. This just came out just a couple months ago, so it seems like the research is a critical part of what you all do. Research
is definitely a critical part of what we do. Keeping scientists in the field of IBD is extremely important. It's like research scientists for any disease. Keeping them in the field, finding successes, finding answers and cures and treatments is extremely important for the patients out there.
Studies show that IBD among children is on the rise, whether there's more kids with it or it's just being found more often. Is that concerning to you?
Extremely. Like I said, our daughter Taryn was 14 when she was diagnosed. We definitely felt like there had been things happening for a while. And, it took a little while to identify what was going on. The rise in pediatric cases is concerning for parents. A big part of that is the gap in medications available for children. I spoke about the fact that there are so many more medicines available, but medicines that are approved for pediatric patients are not nearly as high as the number approved for adult patients. So getting that figured out is going to be a key thing with this rise in pediatric cases.
So how frustrating was it for you as a parent? As a patient, you already went through it, but as a parent, it's got to be just killing you that your kid is going through something.
It It's definitely frustrating and scary. I mean, when Taryn was diagnosed, she was all the way down to 56 pounds.
Oh.
She was in the hospital for almost 21 days. Children's Nebraska, that's where her doctor's team was at, and they did a really great job. They gave us a nice binder with information about Crohn's disease. In it was a lot of information about the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, which helped us navigate where to find information. Because if you just go out and Google Crohn's disease, you can get kind of scared because some of the news out there, you know, it's terrifying of what could happen or the complications and all of that. So being directed to a trusted resource really helped us.
You know, we heard Jake and Amanda talk on the newscast about how kids need to open up and be honest about what they're going through, talking to adults and parents and doctors. Does that translate to adults? I mean, because a lot of adults are in denial or just don't want to find out.
Yeah, it definitely translates to adults. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has a campaign called Spill Your Guts, and it talks a lot about how to talk with your doctor. You know, so many people go and they don't feel right, they don't feel good, but if it's a bathroom disease, they don't necessarily want to talk about it. The Spill Your Guts campaign helps people have ideas of questions to ask their doctor, things to talk about, you know, ways to make sure they're communicating what's going on with them. And as a stubborn adult myself, you know, I can say, if I would have paid better attention earlier on to my disease, I probably would have ended in a better spot.
Wow. I was looking at the foundation's website. It talks about how diversity, equity, inclusion is going to continue to be a critical part of the roadmap for the future. Why is that important?
Well, it's obviously important. I mean, a lot of diverse communities are definitely underserved medically, and making sure that those communities are actively seeking GI help, they're getting their colonoscopies, you know, they're finding out, do you have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, you know? So it is definitely a priority of the foundation still to make sure we stay in that space, really work to make sure that underserved populations are going and getting treatment and seeking help when and if they need it.
Right. We just had the walk, the Take Steps walk. How can people, if they want to get information or they want to get involved, how do they do it?
They can visit our website or call our office. We're definitely happy to get them plugged in. We've actually had 2 back-to-back Take Steps walks. We had one in Iowa the week before, and then our one here in Omaha. And if you missed out and still want to participate, there's one in the fall in Lincoln. Take Steps is a great way to get involved. It's a great IBD community event. But all throughout the year, there are other opportunities through support groups, through volunteer activities that we do. So check us out, look up the website, give us a call. We'll help you get connected.
Yeah, I think people just don't realize how prevalent it is, you know, IBDs.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Hey, Jason, I appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks, Rob.
You bet. Well, next on KETV News Watch 7's Chronicle, we are sitting down with one of the leaders of something called Beyond the Stigma. Brother, You're on My Mind. And later, a community turns out to help their volunteer firefighters, hoping some hotcakes will help save lives. We'll explain when KETV News Watch 7 Chronicle continues.